Can I thank the 45,000 people throughout our state who were tested in the last 24 hours, and please stress moving forward how important it is for us to get those high rates of testing. We're grateful for that. Dr Chant had said she wants to see at least the 40,000 number figure continue, and obviously higher rates in those communities we're outlining today are also extremely essential. Overnight, New South Wales had 27 cases of community transmission. Unfortunately, only 13 of those were already in isolation. 7 were in isolation for part of their infectious period, and 7, we understand, were in isolation for all of their infectious period. Now, they're the numbers we're looking at when it comes to determining the length of the lockdown, and that's why the New South Wales government, based on the health advice, which is our key indicator, made the difficult decision to announce the extension of the lockdown and the existing restrictions in the regions for 1 week further until Friday midnight, the 16th of July. Now, the reason for this is, as we've been saying, this Delta strain is a game changer. It's extremely transmissible and more contagious than any other form of the virus that we've seen. The reason why the New South Wales government has taken this position is because we don't want to be in a situation where we are constantly having to move between lockdown, no lockdown, lockdown, no lockdown. What we want to do is give us our best chance of making sure this is the only lockdown we have until the vast majority of our citizens are vaccinated. We know the vaccine is the key to our freedom. The vaccine is key to saving lives and keeping the economy open. We appreciate and understand the stress this means for individuals, for families, and of course for businesses. But what would be far worse is being in a situation where you have to live in and out of lockdown until that period of time when we have the vaccine available to us. That is not a way to live, and we want to give our citizens the best chance of staying safe and healthy, but also making sure our businesses survive and thrive moving forward until that vaccination period is upon us. And that is the context why we made this decision. Every time we make a decision in the pandemic, it's twofold. It's, yes, to keep our citizens safe and healthy, but it's also to give our businesses the best opportunities moving forward. And we know what businesses need is certainty, and what they don't want is a prospect or a future where we're constantly moving in and out of lockdown. And that is the context for the difficult decision we made. Now, in relation to schools, obviously schools outside of the Greater Sydney region, schools in the regions will resume face-to-face learning from next week, which is a great result, and we're really pleased that there hasn't been any instances of the virus in regional New South Wales. I want to thank our regional communities for their patience. We have had a few false alarms or a few close calls in the regions, but the community has responded by coming out and getting tested, by isolating, and also, can I say to regional communities, thank you for alerting police and Crime Stoppers when people from Greater Sydney have been coming into your community. You have defended your communities, and we're really grateful to you for that. In relation to Greater Sydney, the reason why we took the decision around schools not resuming face-to-face learning next week is not because schools aren't a safe place. They are a safe place. But what we really need to do in Greater Sydney is reduce mobility. We need to stop literally hundreds of thousands of adults moving around and interacting with each other inadvertently as they drop kids off, pick kids up at those usual times. And whilst the virus is more contagious in children, or this strain is, than we've seen previous strains, our main concern is too many people being mobile at the same time and having those interactions. So it's really, really important for people to reduce their mobility. In relation to online learning, I wanted to make the following points. Of course, those parents who are doing essential work, who have no option, children are welcome on the school ground. So as we did last time, the children of essential workers, children who have no other option, or parents who have no option, of course, children will be welcome onto the school grounds. That's what we did last time. And the Education Department and Health have also been speaking to reduce any stress or issues related to Year 12 students. If Year 12 students have practical examinations or need to be on campus for those rare occasions when that face-to-face is essential, the Department and Health are working together on those issues. So we don't want any parents, or I should say students, but also parents, to feel any level of angst that their child will be prevented, especially in relation to practical type exams associated with trials in certain subjects. But we trust our school communities and health to continue to work closer together. They have for a long time. And we anticipate that to going forward. And when you think about it, I know how difficult it is. I hear from friends and family, homeschooling, home learning is difficult, but it's for 4 days. And let's all pull together and do our best during those 4 days. And I appreciate how hard it is. All of us have different circumstances. Everybody is touched by this. Everybody doing the right thing is suffering. And please know that we get that, completely get that. Everybody's circumstances are different, and no matter what your circumstances, we know this has been a difficult period, but we'd much rather go through this difficult period now to try and stamp out as much of the virus as we can, so that when we exit from the lockdown, we have the best chance of not having to go into a lockdown again, and that is the aim. The measure of success will be preventing lockdowns between the time we exit this one and when the vaccine's available, or the vaccines being made available to the vast majority of our citizens.